A coffee shop at dawn, steam rising like a slow exhale, sunlight slicing through blinds and landing on your sleeve. You sip, half interested, and the woman across the table unloads a story she's never told anyone. She doesn't even notice she's leaning in. That quiet ease is doing work before either of you says the first clever thing. I'll promise you this. You don't need staged confidence or viral-level charm. I'll show you why the small, steady behaviors you already have are the actual magnets, and then give you a tactical 7-day plan you can run without pretending to be someone else. Think of it as a manual for showing up with less performance and more gravity. People open up around you because you give them something rare, permission to be ordinary. Remember that bar conversation where a stranger suddenly started talking about anxiety and then thanked you later for listening? That wasn't randomness. It was the social signal of safety. When you hold space, quiet, attentive, steady, people drop their armor. That vulnerability is not incidental. It's attraction in motion. Calm under pressure reads like leadership without the title. Wait, this is the part most guys miss. Calm isn't passive. I watched a friend walk into a screaming argument at a family dinner, ask one simple question, and the room's temperature dropped. People gravitate to someone who doesn't amplify chaos. That composure signals competence, and competence becomes appealing because it promises reliability. Small patterns of influence matter more than loud displays. You laugh a certain way. You habitually put your hand on your heart before you speak. Little gestures get mirrored. A woman laughs at a joke because she's mirroring your rhythm, not because the joke landed like a punchline. Influence is contagious. When people start echoing you, that's quiet status. Here's the twist. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to set the room's rhythm. Your absence is meaningful because you fill a niche of steadiness in other people's lives. Skip one hangout, and suddenly your group chat asks where you are. That gap isn't about ego. It's about the role you play as a social anchor. Being missed proves you're not background noise. Men conflate being noticed with needing validation. Don't. Learn the difference between being seen and seeking applause. Holding eye contact without weaponizing it is a fast lane to intimacy. Not staring, but steady regard, soft, attentive, unthreatening, says, "I see you," in 3 seconds flat. Once, while coaching someone terrified of public speaking, I kept a calm gaze and watched their shoulders unclench. Eyes that listen register as honesty. Honesty is trust worn briefly, and that's magnetic. Humor that loosens people up is weightier than punchlines. I know a guy who never crafted jokes but shared small, honest humiliations from his day. Women around him would dissolve into laughter because he relieved social tension. When people laugh more with you, it's not that you're a stand-up comic, it's that you lower the stakes. That levity lets others be themselves, and people are drawn to the relief of ease. Resilience beats perfection every time. Here's what most guys misunderstand. Attraction isn't about flawless record-keeping or never failing. It's about how you recover. I once saw someone bomb a presentation, own it bluntly, and then rebuild the project better than before. That recovery rewrites reputation. It signals maturity, not invulnerability. The man who comes back steady is the one people bet on. This pattern exists because modern social value often translates to emotional reliability. Schopenhauer argued that inner drives manifest outwardly through effect. In practice, that means your consistent responses carve a predictable map for others. Epictetus put it simpler. It's not what happens to you, but how you react. That overlap explains why steadiness outperforms spectacle in real chemistry. People want someone whose internal weather they can predict. So what do you actually do? First, listen more than you charm. Replace frantic problem-solving with a stabilizing question. Tell me more about that. Say the practical line, "I need a minute," and use that minute. Stop over-explaining your feelings and stop performing vulnerability for validation. Start naming small boundaries. I can't do that right now, but I will later, and mean them. Those sentences anchor you. They signal that your attention is a limited, valuable thing. Here's a 7-day micro-practice you can run tomorrow. Day 1. Hold a focused 60-second eye contact conversation where your only goal is to listen and then summarize what you heard. Day 2. When you feel stress, take one deep breath and say one neutral sentence before reacting. Practice pausing. Day 3. In a conversation, offer one clarifying question instead of immediate advice and watch people solve themselves. Day 4. Skip an optional social event and send one sincere check-in to someone you care about. Practice absence with intent. Day 5. Notice one small habit people copy from you and write it down. Awareness builds influence. Day 6. Tell someone, "I need a minute," and actually take it. Observe how the conversation changes. Day 7. Pick one moment from the week where someone leaned in, write down what happened, and commit to repeating the action that caused it. These moves are tiny, but the compound effect is massive. Consistency rewires how people expect you to respond, and expectations shape attraction. Here's the twist. Magnetism compounds quietly. You don't need dramatic reinvention, just steadier versions of the behaviors you already show. A practical test you can use immediately. In your next conversation, say, "Hold up, let me hear that again." Then repeat back what the other person said and ask one short question. That line costs nothing and signals you're present, not performative. Try it 3 times this week and note who leans in. That data is more useful than compliments. Stop treating attraction like a checklist of traits and start treating it like a reputation you're building through small choices. The goal isn't to look impressive, it's to be reliably good company. Show up with your shoulders down. Make someone laugh from a small truth. Pause before you answer. And return to the world after a setback with one clear step forward. Those moves are invisible until they're the only thing people remember. If you do this, you'll find that what you thought was ordinary is actually a stable force in other people's lives. Keep a private file of 3 small moments each week where someone opened up, mirrored you, or laughed because of you. Treat those entries like evidence, not flattery, and use them to calibrate how you show up next week. Close like this. Stop underselling the quiet parts of you. Walk into the coffee shop without trying to perform. Take the sip, listen with steady eyes, and let the rest follow. The world is loud and performative. Your job is to be the steady channel people can tune into. That's how attraction grows, slowly and surely, without you having to shout for it.